Hey guys, good afternoon. It's New York Dan here for Ben's Products. Today I'm going to be talking about power washers. A few tips of advice and some good stuff about them. The reason being, I'm working on this van fuel tank here, and if you saw my other video, I actually used a power washer to clean the damn tank out. Here's the tank right here. It's like a long coffin type diesel fuel tank for the van, and you can see I cut it open. Believe it or not, I power washed it. It was all clean in there at the bottom. It's starting to rust up that fast. I left it out just for like one day. I was over at my girlfriend's on the weekend while that tank was drying, right? It already started to rust up that quickly. But before I attempt, and this is coming up, I'm going to film it. I'm going to attempt to weld that panel back onto the tank, to weld that seam and hope that it's fuel tight. All right? I got to clean some stuff up, but this is actually a MIG welder under here. I also have over here, I actually have the big stick welder, the arc welder. But the problem is, the big arc welder, it's gonna burn right through that thin sheet metal. That's very tricky to weld with. The only way you can do it is you got to get very, very thin welding rods. I do have a selection of welding rods here for the arc welder, but you see this one might work. It's like 16th inch. And who knows how good these are, though. I've heard that if you leave these arc welding rods in a humid location. Oh, look at this. I got a whole thing of 16-inch welding rods. If you leave them in a humid location too long, something about they can get messed up. My dad actually, when he worked doing engineering and stuff with ships, and he said they actually would keep those welding rods in a oven. They had a special store for them where it would keep the moisture out. They would heat them up maybe or bake them in the oven to dry them out. That might be an idea if those are too old. But what I want to show you today, I'm going to re-power wash that tank out just to be on the safe side, and using the big power washer. My nozzle got messed up. I'm looking at the thing. I have it in the vise here. This is the nozzle holder for the power washer. These things plug in. It's pretty good. Well, this one screws in. It has an O-ring. This has one of those quick connects to change the nozzle out. That's if it still works anymore. I had trouble getting the old nozzle out of here. But it's the same basic nozzle. This nozzle here is the best one to use. This thing, which way is the text? This thing says it's up to 3,300 PSI pressure washer. And you see what it does? It circulates the stream. It's like it rotates it super fast. Like as if you were holding the wand and like doing that like a machine or a robot. This is my pressure washer right here. Okay, I got a nice one. It's a gas overhead valve Kohler engine. And I forget, does it say 2,600 PSI? 2.4 GPM, gallons per minute. It came with these standard nozzles right here. And the thing is, you know, the ones that have like 0 degrees, it's going to be very fine, a pinpoint for cleaning stuff up. It had a 25 degree, which I think I lost, or it's around somewhere, and a 40 degree. This crazy thing here is for doing soap. It doesn't use, it's not really like a pressure. It's not really a pressure washer nozzle. What it does is you can fill this up with a special soap for the power washer, and it automatically sucks it in as you're washing, and it basically will just like, it will spray like suds. It's a sudser kind of thing. These nozzles work okay, but if you want to, trust me, if you want to really power wash some stuff and you don't want to punish yourself having to do a lot of like tedious, like they may only do a very small portion that they clean, a small line, and you got to keep going like that, you want to get one of those turbo washer nozzles. Definitely. My other bit of advice here for as far as pressure washers go, okay, it's getting real windy out here. I'm going to go in here a bit. Hopefully, we don't get some kind of rainstorm when I'm trying to do this stuff. Here's the thing. Best advice I can give you is get yourself a gas-powered pressure washer, okay? Don't try to do this electric stuff. Don't try to do it. They're trying to sell a lot of that now at Home Depot. A lot of things are electric powered. Even they have a bunch of leaf blowers now that they're touting. They're trying to like push those that they're electric and they're so great. You're gonna waste your money. You're gonna waste it. There's two things that I can definitely tell you. You can never have it too powerful, basically, for what's available out there. One of them is definitely this pressure washer. The weaker that pressure washer is, it's just not going to work. It's going to make your life miserable trying to clean with it. It's something that you can do in a few minutes with the gas-powered one and have great results. You're going to be going back and forth with the electric, and it's not going to come out right. The second thing I can safely say, I can safely give you good advice. If you get a leaf blower, get the biggest damn leaf blower that you can possibly get. Get one that has like, usually it's got to be backpack. Okay, a really good leaf blower. 2-stroke, 2-cycle engine. Just like the mini bike, right? The 2-cycle. They have a lot of power and they weigh very little, right? Do not fall for the damn electric leaf blower. Do not do it. That thing is going to be so wimpy. It will work. Maybe for blowing off a couple loose leaves, on like a deck or something like that. But when you're doing like, if you're cleaning up your yard, you have debris, dirt, whatever, some of it's kind of stuck. You can never have too much power. When I do leaf blowing, I usually run that thing like full throttle to get the most cleaning done. It's mostly run on full throttle. Those are two things right there I gave you some straight advice on. Though you will not be disappointed if you spend the extra money and go with something that's gas powered. It's not really that much more money than the electric stuff is. It's not really that much more. All right? And here's the other thing with these pressure washers. Now, when you're done with this pressure washer, if you're not using it all the time, okay, what you do is, okay, it's not hard to do. It's not rocket science. Look at your pressure washer, right? You see mine? It has the gas cap right here. Take the gas cap off. Dump the whole pressure washer over. You could put like a little tray or something to collect the gasoline. But you want to dump out the remaining gas in there when you're done with it, right? Because pressure washers, you don't use them like every day. Then once it's dumped out, start the thing up. Because also connect the hose to it. Don't run it dry. That will burn the pump up. But start it up. And it will only run for a few minutes, right? Squeeze the nozzle, whatever. Run the water through it. Don't run it dry. And the gas in the carb will burn out. And your tank's empty. The gas is burnt out of the carb. Now you can store that pressure washer, put a tarp over it, keep the elements away from it. That's what I did. I just got one of those Harbor Freight tarps. I put that over it and tied it. You could store the thing for years. I didn't use this in a couple years, and it fired right up. When I pulled it out, you put some fresh gas in it, it will fire right up. That's a tip, definitely a valuable tip. Don't leave the gas in it when you store it. You'll be sorry. It will turn into varnish in the carburetor. The 2 cycles, they have a different carburetor. It doesn't have a flow valve. It's a diaphragm carburetor, and I think when the thing is shut off, the carburetor automatically drains back. Those seem to work. They seem to be very good for storage. Like a leaf blower, you could store it a long time. You pull it out and it fires right up. And the 2-cycle gas has that oil in it too, so that helps preserve the gas. Alright guys, so yeah, you know what I gotta do? Something real tedious. This is why it's easier and more fun to make videos than to do some of this hard work here. And the hard work is this stuff right here. Putting that back on the truck too. That's not going to be fun. Not at all. I'm not like Scotty Kilmore where I just do the videos and I talk like about like test equipment that you just plug something into a plug. I'm actually doing a lot of this grunt work myself. Well, all of it. I don't have a garage where people are working for me. So everything I'm giving you, this is a real channel. It's not like phony, like a lot of the other ones. It's like clickbait, and they don't actually do the projects or the work. You know what? While I'm on the topic, you know what I hate? When they do, these guys buy the car just to do like a YouTube, and what they do is they basically trash the car. They do something ridiculous with it just to make video. Then they like junk it. I hate that crap. Anything I do here is to preserve cars that I can actually use and keep. I don't buy them and then just sell them because I make a video. I'm using all this equipment and I'm keeping it going even if it's rusted. I repair the rust. I don't just leave it. So, yeah, that's what's going on here, guys. And like I said, it's going to be tedious. After I power wash this tank, I already filmed doing it. If you want to see how I was doing it, check my other video out that's already on there where I power washed it. I think it's a short. But after I get done with that, I'm going to put that cover back. I'll just bend it. This was my whole idea. It's attached on one side here. And I'll bend it back the best I can. Now I had to drill holes in the corners. Once I get it bent back, I got to clean this metal up along the edges. And then we got to break that MIG welder out. And I got to see if I can even get that MIG welder working. I got some new tips. I'm going to show you there's copper tips for that. And it uses a wire that has like a flux in the core of the wire. So the wire's got to feed correctly. It's got like a gun with a trigger. Now, I saw a guy, an Asian guy, he has some kind of a channel where he builds like boats out of foam. It's really cool actually to watch it. But how he does a lot of the fittings on the boats, like the throttle and the shifters and stuff, the motor mounts, he welds a lot of stuff. And he does the MIG. And I saw him, what he did is, he just like, he goes like, he moves the thing over just a hair, moves it over. He doesn't do it just continually. like, no, he lets it cool a certain, just a little bit. Now I'm gonna try to do what I saw him doing to see if this will work with this sheet metal, because that metal's really thin, and with the welder, especially the stick one, you'll burn a hole right through that thing. It will just melt right through it. This is going to take a real controlled weld to get this to come out right. And you saw my short video I put up yesterday. I bought all those epoxy sticks that are a special tank weld. So if worse comes to worse and we muff that up, I can put that tank weld stuff maybe over the welds. We'll see. Maybe that will seal it, because we don't want diesel fuel like sloshing out of this thing after I put it in. And this thing is a one and done. Once I put it back in that van, I do not want to have to go under there again and take this junk apart. That's the last thing I want to have to do. So, yeah, we got our work cut out, or I got my work cut out for me. I can't just do the Scotty Kilmore thing. I got to get this stuff done. I'm not making millions off YouTube like Kilmer, and I can just talk about plugging in computers and junk like that. This kind of thing right here. Well, this was for the Mercedes, and I am afraid to plug it in because I don't want to mess up my W140. People said in the comments it wouldn't hurt anything. And this is a Bluetooth OBD2. But this car's from 93. I have it covered up, but it does have this plug, and it has some kind of computer box. It may, in fact, have some information. What I'd like to do is I need a volunteer. If you have a W140, let me plug this thing in, and we'll see what it does. Maybe, you know what I should do? I should go test drive one, right? Somebody's like, oh, they would kill me. Go test drive one and then be like, hey, I got this diagnostic thing. Let's see what this does. Maybe if you find one that like someone's selling for parts, or it's in the junkyard, that would be perfect. Because then, like, if they're parting the car out, and you could bring like a battery to hook up and be like, I just want to see, what does this communicator do? Could pull a Kilmore and be like, hey, this is all the stuff wrong with the car. I'm not going to actually do any mechanicking. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video, hopefully when I have the MIG going with that tank. And I not only want to get this done just for videos, I really am doing this because I want to get the damn thing done with the van so I can do boating. So let's hope, fingers crossed.